This man is drunk. Wait, am I drunk? I'm nobody. Yes, you do have a problem. God's got this. No, I got this. You're stupid. You're dumb. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a son. I'm a leader. I am Marcus J. Scott. I'm Marcus J. Scott, author of The Drunken Preacher, here to encourage critical thinking, social awareness, advocate growth, resilience, provide hope, and help you find faith. Welcome to another edition of the Drunken Preacher podcast. Yeah, I'm Marcus J. Scott. And man, we reached another Monday morning. Man, I'm feeling good. Last week we were in Orlando, and I'm telling you, working like all the different jobs I've been doing. I mean, I literally got like 5 jobs. I do. And sometimes I feel overwhelmed. Yeah, sometimes I feel overwhelmed. Sometimes I really do feel like I'm so burdened. I'm like, man, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing some of this stuff. Maybe I shouldn't be doing some of this stuff. And then sometimes I just outright feel like I want to quit. So today I want to talk about, you're probably tired, but you can't quit. Yeah, you are probably tired. You probably do have a lot on your plate, but you cannot quit. You know, there's a difference between being finished and being fatigued. Yeah, there's a difference between being finished and feeling and being fatigued. A lot of people think, yeah, I want to quit when all they really need is rest, clarity, healing, and maybe some perspective. And so this episode, I want to talk about how do we recognize the difference between making emotional decisions that could cost you your purpose, your peace, and your progress. Yeah, I want to talk about how do we make those decisions? How do we determine if this is something we should let go, or we just really need to rest, recover, regenerate, refocus, and move forward? The bottom line is, though, you cannot quit. Yeah, you cannot quit whatever you started out on. And a lot of us started out on 2026 on a high note and said, yep, this is what I'm doing. This is the direction I'm going. This is what God gave me. And now that we're in May, we're tired. Yeah, we're tired. We're fatigued. I mean, we have it all built up. Okay, I know you got to be tired because I'm tired. Even in this, what I'm doing, my podcast, my morning motivations, my traveling, my speaking, my preaching, and now pastoring, it's like, man, all of this stuff. And people sometimes ask me, I don't see how you do it. Well, one, I sometimes don't see how I do it. But one of the main things I do is I lean on God. And so today we're going to talk about some things on how we move forward and continue to get to the finish line. Yeah, we might have started out right. We might have started out strong, but sometimes we let our emotions get the best of us. Sometimes we allow our temporary feeling to allow us to make bad decisions in our relationships, bad decisions on our job, bad decisions with our family members, with our siblings, with our spouses, with our children. That temporary emotion, that temporary feeling, that temporary sometimes weight that gets on us causes us to lash out, to say things we don't mean. And then we later on regret some of the things we said and sometimes some of the decisions we made. And so today we want to focus on how do we kind of maneuver that? How do we reset, refocus? How do we determine if we're tired? How do we determine if we need to quit or change courses or just get some rest and refocus? And so one of the first things I want to look at is burnout will make you question everything. Yeah, that's the one thing I want to raise first. Burnout will make you question everything. Sometimes we feel so overloaded that we start questioning ourselves. And that's the first thing we have to think about when we say, well, maybe I need to quit. Is it just burnout? Is it we haven't excuse me, taken a rest yet? When I think about 4 quarters of football or 4 quarters of basketball, guess what? They have timeouts, they have quarter breaks. If a man gets injured, they have a break from that. They stop the game. And so sometimes we're playing 4 quarters straight with no timeouts, no quarter breaks, no halftime, no nothing. And you can't win with no breaks. So you absolutely cannot win with no breaks. All right. So we have to take breaks. And here's the thing, burnout has a way of making your purpose feel pointless. Yeah, burnout has a way of making your purpose feel pointless. Sometimes I'm like, man, I don't even know if I want to do this. Even if I'm called, it's just too much. Why? Because we haven't taken any breaks. I was going through the ordination process, and one of the first things I did in one of the first classes that we had, they was like, you have to go on a sabbatical. I was like, what's that? They was like, yeah, you got to shut everything down, no phone. Matter of fact, go find somewhere, go out in the wilderness, the woods, get a hotel room, shut off all your gadgets, phones, don't take no electronics, and just you and God. And I'm gonna tell you, like, I didn't know what to expect, and to be honest, I'm going through the ministry process. I was like, okay, this is going to be my burning bush moment. And I went and got a hotel. It was just me and God. And I was like, all right, the pillow's gonna catch on fire, or the light's gonna spark, and God is gonna come down and give me a revelation, and it's gonna be this, amazing thing. And the one thing God spoke to me in there was, yeah, in ministry, you're gonna need some rest. This is your time to be quiet. Yeah, be quiet, pray, but also to get some rest. And after that sabbatical, when I came out, I felt refreshed and renewed and ready to go. And sometimes we don't take the breaks. Even professional athletes have a halftime. Even professional athletes have a quarter that they break. Even professional athletes, the coach say, hey, take a break, come out. Sometimes the player pulls themselves out by tapping themselves on the head. Sometimes they just need a rest. And sometimes we go and go and go and go so much, we get burned out. And burnout could make us question what our calling is. Yeah, burnout can make us question what our calling is, or if it's even relevant or valuable. And so we got to get to a place where we recognize the burnout. And so sometimes the issue isn't that your calling changed. You're just exhausted from carrying too much without recovery. And so we got to get away from being completely exhausted with no breaks. So the second thing I want to raise is you've been strong for too long. Yeah, you've been strong for too long, especially us males. Sometimes we have to feel or be macho where we can't cry. We can't share it with anybody else. We definitely don't like to share it with other men that we're sad, we're emotional, we're hurting, we're going through something. We feel weight, we feel pain. I remember when I was younger, my dad would spank me and say, hush, be quiet. And my mom was like, you just spanked him. What do you mean? At least let him cry. Well, what was that doing? Like, it was like, man up, take the pain and don't say nothing. Don't cry. Hold it in. And that's not good for anybody. Male, female, child, young person, older person. We got to let it out. We've been strong for too long. We've been not saying something for too long. And the problem is we get to a point where we explode. And then we're making really bad decisions, or sometimes it's not even us, it's the emotion and some sort of spirit that is not godly that allows us to completely throw everything off track, to completely mess everything up, all because we were trying to hold on for stuff for too long. We were trying to be too strong for too long. We were trying not to show any emotion. We were trying to not to make it seem like we were a victim. We were trying to make it seem like we weren't manly. We were trying to make it seem like that didn't really hurt. He didn't really hurt me. You fell in love. You were in love and gave him everything, and he walked out on you. You gave him everything, and he was giving his love to somebody else. You were giving her everything, and she didn't acknowledge it. She seemed like she didn't care. She didn't show any affection. And so we bottle that stuff up. We don't share our pain. We don't share our hurt. And we got to be strong for whatever those reasons are. And so God wanted me to share with somebody today that's listening to this right now. It's okay to let it go. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be weak in moments. It's okay to pull back. It's okay to be by yourself and scream and tell God it hurts. It's painful. You don't know what to do. I've had those moments. And so strong people, we got to realize this. Even strong people get tired. They just hide it sometimes better than most. But I just told you, hiding it and holding it in is not good for nobody, no matter how strong you think you are. We ought to let God carry the weight instead of us trying to carry the weight. Yeah, let me say that again. We ought to let God carry the weight instead of us trying to carry the weight. A lot of what I've done recently in my last 6 months was shifted to God. God, you say you was going to take care of this. It's hard. I can't do it. So I began to stress less and less and less because I'm like, I can't do nothing about it. If they're going to take everything, they're going to take everything. If she going to walk out, she going to walk out. If they're going to do me wrong, they're going to do me wrong. As long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to, I lean and trust God. There's nothing else I can do. We got to get to a point where we say, I can't do anything about it, but God can. I can't hold it any longer, but God can. I can't change it, but God can. So we got to get to a point where we let go of just holding on stuff. We got to get to a point where we let go of just holding on stuff. We're not that strong to hold it all. We're not that strong to hold it all. We got to let some of this stuff go. And so we got to stop trying to show as if we're the strongest person in the room. We're the strongest person in our family. We're the strongest person in our circles. We're the strongest person that's in our on our job or in our family or around in our community. We have to let it go. I told them a few days ago at a service I was speaking at, if you trust God and you know he got it, why are you trying to take his job? Why are you trying to take his job? God is God. And those of us who say we lean on him, we believe in him, we trust him, we trying to take his position. We trying to hold the stuff for him. And he's saying, okay, well, if you're going to hold it, why should I? He's trying to tell you to give it to him. So we got to stop holding on to it. Third, let's not make permanent decisions off of temporary exhaustion. Yeah, let's not make permanent decisions off of temporary exhaustions. You know, I believe honestly that's sometimes why our divorce rate is so high. Yeah, we get so emotional about what's temporarily going on. And I know. You might be like, nah, they've been doing this for years. And well, my first thought is, did you make any changes? Mm. Did you make any changes in a relationship? Sometimes we say things and do things because of the way we feel temporarily, but then we holding on to that stuff that they did, even others who do it to us. We're holding on to it. They were emotional at the time they said it. You were emotional at the time you said it. You were emotional at the time you did it. And so a lot of times we make permanent decisions off of temporary emotions, off of temporary exhaustion. We're tired. Don't wait for 3 years to say something. Don't wait 2 months to say something. Don't wait. They've been getting on your nerves for 2, 3, 4 weeks now. You probably should have said something the first day. Hey, I really don't like it when you talk like that or when you say that. Or here is where our boundaries are. I can only talk to you from this time to this time. I can only talk to you about job related stuff. I can't talk to you about what you got going on in your family. I can't talk to you about your ex no more because all you do is say all men are like that. I can't talk to you about your ex anymore because all you do is say she or they, all women are all like that. You ever talk to somebody who everything is negative? Every time you, oh yeah, man, we could do it. Yeah, but what if this happened? Yeah, but what if it go down like this? Yeah, what if it's bad like that? Yeah, what if it don't turn out right? What if it turn out good? And so we got to get to a point where we don't let stuff linger for so long that we get exhausted, but then we end up making a permanent decision off the temporary exhaustion. Again, we're going, we're going, we're going, we're going, we're going. No timeouts, no breaks, no, hey, that was the first quarter. Nah, this halftime. I was over in Orlando last week and I had a lot to do still over here in Tampa. And I noticed that as I lean on God more, He starts to open up doors for me to get rest. So I was over in Orlando, and while I was working, I had time to rest. There was a lot of time for me to take my mind off some stuff here and rest in Orlando while getting work done and picking up more clients on top of that. Why? Because I leaned, God, I'm tired. God, I need rest. God, I need to refocus. I need a timeout. And He gave it to me. Check this out. He allowed me to be paid to take a break. And at the same time of taking a break and being paid, I picked up more clients. How good is God if you can say, God, I need a break? Okay, I tell you what, go take a break. I'm going to pay you to take a break. The trip and the break is going to be paid for. Plus, you're going to get paid. Plus, I'm going to give you a little extra because you've been doing what I told you to do. We can't let temporary exhaustions allow us to make permanent decisions. And one of the ways we must do that is by telling God, listen, I need a break. And then cutting out some time for a serious mental, emotional, and physical break. What does that look like for you? What does that look like for you? And then lastly, I want you to know that God restores tired people. Yeah, He restores tired people. I just got through telling you, I asked God, I say, listen, I need a break. I need a break, but I can't stop because if I stop, I lose money. This happens, that happens. Don't worry about it. I got you. See, I don't know about y'all, but I'm learning as I build my relationship with God. That's how I talk to God. I can't handle this one, but I can't really take a break because I'm trying to get back on track. My finances, this. Don't worry about it. I got you. The one thing he does keep telling me is you just need to do what I'm telling you to do. As long as you keep being obedient, I got you. And so even when the times come up, there's a lot of times when y'all see me saying good morning, that I stuff been bothering me, things haven't gone right. But the reason I'm able to get up and say, this is the day the Lord has made, let us rejoice and be glad in it, because I'm putting it on him. God, you told me to put everything on you. You told me not to worry about it. You told me when I need rest. You told me when I need time, I can come to you. God, I need you to take care of this. God, yep, my finances look like that. I don't know what to do. All I know to do is keep paying my tithe, giving what you told me to give. It's your money anyway. Just help me, help allow the stress to get off me. I'm going through something right now. Honestly, I don't even know how we're going to get out of it. My business partner was calling me up like, yo, man, I'm like, look, I don't know. I'm just praying about it. I just believe God going to make a way. It looked real slim, but I just believe he gonna make a way. And we got to get to a point where we're like, God, I need the rest. I need you to restore me, but I also need you to take care of it. When I think about that, I think about Elijah. Elijah in 1 King 19, you know, Elijah was powerful. He was faithful. He was used by God, but he became exhausted. Yeah, he became exhausted. And God didn't shame him. He didn't replace him. He didn't condemn him. He let him rest. He allowed him to rest, eat, recover, and reset. And we've got to get to a point where we tell God, I need to rest, recover, and reset. We got to get to a place where we tell God that. And then he opens up the door for that to happen, and nothing changes, or something does change, but it's better on the other side. Even great men get tired. Strong leaders hit walls. Faithful people need restoration. Everybody needs to rest and reset. And so if you want to be the best version of yourself that you can be moving forward, if you want to continue to move in your purpose, if you want to continue to be the person, the man, the woman that God has called you to be, you got to get some rest. You got to reset, be restored, rejuvenated, recover in order to continue to move forward. Remember, let's take a quarter break. Let's take halftime. Let's take some timeouts. That's what's required in order to win the game. We cannot win the game by continuing to play with no timeouts, with no breaks, with no quarters, with no half times. If we want to win the game, we have to have a break. We have to have a reset. We have to have a halftime and come back stronger, an adjusted plan, renewed, and be ready to go. So starting today, let's put on our schedule. Let's find some time to reset. Let's find some time to balance things out, to be restored. Allow God to rejuvenate us, and let's move forward so that we can be the best versions of ourselves we can be. All right. Hey, that's my time for today. Hey, I really enjoyed this. I actually got some rest and I reset it this past week and over the weekend, even though the weekend I was doing quite a bit. But while I was in Orlando, I got to reset. I got to rest and I'm rejuvenated. And that's why I'm so excited about what God is doing in my life. And I'm excited about what he's getting ready to do in yours. So until next time, always have a heart of gratitude and the strength to keep moving forward. God bless you.
It's your time. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. The drunken preacher. Yeah. The drunken preacher. Yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah. It's your time. It's your time. The drunken preacher. The drunken preacher. The drunken preacher. The drunken preacher. The drunken preacher.